going down. It's going down, 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 down. It's going
Oh yeah, baby. What's up, folks? You know what time it is. Oh yeah. It's that sweet spot, baby. 7 p.m.
What the
Sunday. What? 3/12, baby. March
3/12?
2023. We add it
yeah,
over here. And Sally, will you stop for a minute? I'll let you talk.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Keep forgetting.
You're weird lately when you're guesting. You just like talk right over me the whole time. Anyways, Jasmine, thank you for not talking over me. Anyways, folks, we're here at the MCU's Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast celebrating. We're almost going to be at 15,000 subscribers. How about that shit? Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate that. That's really dope. And we're back on our Facebook page for the first time. We don't have any followers yet. I just put it up today. But so I've got to work on it a little bit and whatnot. But I actually just got our first business phone number. I'm having our first set of business cards printed right now for me and Cyber. And everything. We're going to have digital business cards too that Sally and Jasmine are going to get a hold of here soon. They're going to have links on them and everything and whatnot. They're going to go right to our website and right to all our stuff. And anyways, we're here to do a Secret Invasion Disney Plus series preview. It's going to be our first Disney Plus series of 2023. Our first Phase 5 Disney Plus series. Very important series, right? Just like kind of Ant-Man 3 was, kind of a pretty important staging film, or intro into the, MCU Phase 5. I feel like Secret Invasion is going to set the tone for the type of Disney Plus series we're going to get this year. Jasmine, I think that you'd agree that coming off MCU Phase 4, a lot of people in the fandom are very pessimistic, or were very pessimistic before they even saw Ant-Man 3, right? And a lot of people were straight up unhappy.
I feel that's a certain demographic of the toxic side of the MCU.
Well, no, Jasmine, please be fair. You know that there are some decent fans out there and whatnot that weren't happy.
Yeah, but if you immediately just think that the MCU is in a downfall just because they were experimenting in one phase, that's pretty toxic.
I'm not going that way. That's not where I'm going. I'm talking about the people who have come on the show, for instance, right? The people I've had come on guests, other creators and whatnot. We're in the studio, we've talked and had personal conversations, and they're pessimistic. They're afraid sometimes, Jazz, just because they love the MCU. They're not toxic. You know what I'm saying?
And in my opinion, the MCU's Phase 4 was an experiment to see if they went outside of the formula that they've done for the last 3 phases. Would people still want it? Since they've been asking for it since the entire Phase 1 through 3, they were asking for them to change stuff up and do stuff, and so they did it, and then they complained about it.
Okay, well, would you at least agree with me that and then I'll go to you, Sally, that there are legitimate MCU fans out there that love the MCU for the same right reasons that we have, all 3 of us, and we got John coming in here to balance out the the show here, so we're not being outwomaned over up in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't be having all that ganging up on me type stuff or whatever. But no, Jazz, I know I know, Sally, you've met people that are decent folk that like the MCU for the same basic reasons we do, right? That they're just certain parts of certain stuff that came out in Phase 4 that they weren't happy. I'm not saying they hated it or they thought it was terrible or whatever, or they are giving up on Marvel. I'm just saying, we've even had creators come in the comment section during shows and drop comments at times and be like, look, if they would just be more comic book accurate with this character or that character. So there's people out there that do care. Like when you meet John, you'll see that, he probably is one that would be in that category, and he's a decent guy. So here he is right here. So Sally, would you say that, I mean, you personally, Sally, you have been pretty pessimistic after Phase 4, right?
I was pessimistic during Phase 4 to the point where I was fully set on leaving the fandom, but
You didn't watch a lot of Phase 4.
I didn't watch most of the TV shows. And I'm not saying that to discredit anybody. I love the characters. I just
You'll get back to
burnt
them.
out, I guess.
You'll eventually go back and watch them.
Oh, I will. That's my
John.
goal.
We like to just leave you hanging like you're not even there for a while. You know what I mean?
It's all good. I'm late. I deserve it.
Hey, you know what? You gotta love doing your dry run with a guest like another creator and whatnot during the live stream. That's always the best way to do it, right, John?
Dry and steady.
Yeah. Can you really call this a dry run? This would be like more of a lubricated run.
Extremely.
Right? There you go.
But it's like that like $1 lube.
Yeah. No. Well, I buy the $2 lube personally.
Remember the strawberry flavored kind?
But no, Jasmine, Sally, please meet John from the Mad Trivia podcast.
Hello.
And Jasmine, this is what I wanted to let John explain this to you real quick. John, we're going to get into Secret Invasion, but will you explain to Jasmine real quick kind of what you do, what your concept is on your podcast?
Sure. So my podcast is essentially a podcast where I take my guest and I quiz them really quick on 10 questions on one of their favorite movies. Now, before we get together, I ask them 5 of their favorite movies, and I get to pick one of those movies at random. And then I select those questions. I kind of go through like a whole internet sleuthing thing where I pick up in-movie things, behind-the-scenes things, surprising and interesting facts. But then the other part of it, the mad part, is I take one of the scenes from the movie and I omit a bunch of words, and I treat it like a Mad Lib. And what they do is they replace a whole bunch of words, and then we basically destroy a scene. And it's been a blast so far. I actually just changed the concept a little bit. I was originally doing intro, then reveal the movie, ask the questions, do the Mad Lib. Now I'm actually doing collecting words, revealing the movie, doing the trivia, then the scene. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do now. But the one thing they don't get to know is the movie that they're doing questions on until we're recording.
That's pretty neat, isn't it, Jazz?
She's muted.
Jasmine.
There she is.
I'm here.
Hey, did you hear what John was saying?
Yes, I heard everything he said about
That's
his podcast.
pretty neat. That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a pretty cool concept. I've never met anybody that did a podcast like that before until I met John. I think it's really neat. I'm looking forward to going on there. And John, honestly, you should. I would encourage you to reach out to Jasmine or Sally and have them on too. Believe me.
Absolutely.
That would be fun.
Right now, you'll have a blast.
I don't really discriminate my guests. It's anybody that wants to come on gets to come on. I try to reach out pretty diversely. I've gotten 2 comedians on, which was a good time. I don't know if either of you have seen or any of you have seen Silicon Valley, but I got one of the people who was on Silicon Valley as a recurring role. And I got Chase O'Donnell, who is Christina Pajitsky's opener, and if you don't know her, she's Tom Segura's wife.
I've actually heard of Chase O'Donnell before. I have.
Yes, so she's been on my show, and so is Helen Hong from the Thunderman, Silicon Valley. She's been in a couple other things. She's got a special out.
But we had some random crackhead on.
Oh yeah,
back yeah.
Hey, listen. No discrimination.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah, we're gonna start just bringing in random crackheads.
Was his name the 5 o'clock free hack giveaway guy?
No, actually, no. One time I met a guest. One time who was gonna come on that when he was explaining to me who he was, like he was like, I'm your father, your son, your mother, your killer, your child, your cousin, your boss. Like he was all this shit because he went on some like Oscawaya or whatever hallucinogenic 2-day experience
Ayahuasca.
or whatever, and he decided that he no longer is he like a human being anymore. He's like this other thing or whatever. I'm like, okay, well at that point then can you just explain to me like logically what the fuck do I call you on the show? Like you didn't have a name at this point? Like what do you how do you state that into one word? You know what I'm saying? It was actually really funny, to be honest with you. He didn't come on. It would have been great if he did.
That sounds like Florida Man defined.
Florida Man.
Yeah.
I get to go check out Florida Man, but Jeremiah that comes out here at the Sunday shows has told me about it. He says it's great. But anyways, folks, on to Secret Invasion. Now, Sally, would it be fair to say on your end that you definitely at least have noticed other people or talked to other people in the fandom that were maybe a little bit unhappy too with Phase 4? A little bit, maybe a little pessimistic going into Phase 5.
Yeah, I felt like the only one who was like genuinely going to leave the fandom. But yeah, my friend group was kind of disappointed in it.
Okay. And
The
John,
best thing that came out of it was the Captain Carter fan art. Okay, go ahead.
no, John. I don't know how much what your circle's like MCU wise or whatever, right? In terms of how many times you bump into people where you talk about Marvel, but you and I have talked personally. I know that you had your issues with Phase 4, just like people had issues with Phase 1 or Phase 2 or Phase 3, right?
Yep.
But you've noticed people, I'm sure, come across people that were a little bit pessimistic or a little bit let down certain aspects of Phase 4. Maybe I was a little up and down.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people I know, there's a couple specifically that I can think of. They called it Phase Bore, which I can understand. There was a lot more letdowns in that phase than there, in my opinion, has been in any other phase. And that's me saying that, having watched every Marvel movie that's been a mainstream Marvel movie since, I think, Blade.
That's awesome.
So
Younger than I have.
I'm gonna be 35 this year, and I've been watching Marvel since Marvel was Marvel. I mean, this is controversial. I didn't hate Howard the Duck like everybody else did. And
wait a minute. You're 35, and how do you even know about Howard the Duck?
Because I'm 35, it was like an '87 movie.
Good movie. I love
See,
that movie.
see. So thank you.
I
I'm
feel
so
like
glad
I'm
there's somebody
Peter.
else out there.
I haven't seen it in a long time. It's got to have been at least 18, 20 years since I saw it.
It's
I
aged
feel like a fucking
terribly.
fetus right now.
Who was the actress that played in Howard the Duck?
Leah Thompson.
Oh God, she looks fine in that movie.
She still looks exactly the same with approximately 6 more wrinkles.
She's fine as hell now. I didn't say she wasn't. I'm just saying she was fine in that movie. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm you know what I'm saying? I don't stop. I don't stop. Believe me, I still think Julianne Moore is fine as fuck.
She is the specimen. I don't care what anyone has to say. Yeah, that woman is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so glad that somebody else thinks so. I got called so many names for finding her attractive. She's like 64, 65. She still looks just as good as she did. And, okay, still, she's fantastic.
She is. Anyways,
she looks fantastic.
She's definitely got some good genes going or something. But
for sure,
as far as Secret Invasion and now we're not going to get into Ant-Man 3, obviously, right now. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later. But and I will put it out there right now. I think I gave Ant-Man 3 like an 8.25 or an 8.5 on the review. I can't remember. Jazz, what'd you give it?
What did I give what?
What'd you give Ant-Man 3 rating wise for the review?
Oh, that was a 9.5 for me. I loved it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, we liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally found it to be a good first start for Phase 5. I was happy with it. Like, I thought it was a good building block. I really believe fully that Secret Invasion will be the same thing. Like, I'm very confident in what they put together here. And we're going to unfold all that right now. We're going to start it off right now by going ahead and playing the trailer. I'm assuming they're going to drop another trailer very soon.
I saw something that came out yesterday
there's got to be some. It's got to come out. They always drop at least 2 trailers for these Disney.
That one
Plus.
right there, the second one down, that came out yesterday on Screen Culture.
Wait a minute, yeah, that's not. But that's not an official Disney Plus trailer.
It's
Or
got
Marvel.
new footage.
No, does it really?
It seems to. I don't remember some of the scenes that they showed in it.
You know what? We'll watch it. The hell with it. Why not?
It's shorter than the original trailer too. So.
Yeah,
We'll watch it. Why not?
let's fucking do this.
It's a great trailer, though. This is a really, really, really solid trailer. I love this.
agree.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Never saw this one, Sally?
I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
I love the I start to jump. The sound sounds so good.
For years, you've been avoiding Earth. But I have called for your help plenty of other times, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
Feels older.
Yeah, well,
So is he?
Well, they
this is
are.
different.
He
I
drinking?
mean,
Yeah.
Sam Jackson's like
How
73,
much do you know
74
about
years
your
old.
security
So.
detail?
I'm gonna go.
I love
Google
this
this
scene.
one.
How much do I know about him?
I love that Rhodey's still in the MCU.
He's 74.
Fury,
See,
we
you don't look it. You don't look it at all.
careful now.
Yeah. Oof.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
This is just the beginning.
This is my war,
I love it. I love where this is going.
and I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Nice.
And what is that?
Oh, that shot. Oh. Now, I just want to say that, of course, we're going to grain of salt this, right? Because I mean, we've all seen the Batman trailers, right? That we fucking like.
Oh
the best,
God.
you know what I mean? And then, and I thought the Batman movie was okay, but so yeah,
I
you guys
didn't.
get the point. Now, Jasmine,
No.
Jasmine,
Oh.
I'll go to you first, then I'll go to you, Sally, then I'll go to you, John. Jasmine, off rip, right? And then like now, right? I guess in between, like as you're watching the trailer now on the show, you've already seen the trailer before. You're seeing it again now. Does anything stand out to you? Is there anything new that popped out of there or whatever, whatnot that maybe you didn't notice before the first time you saw it?
No, pretty much the same thing as I always thought was going on with it, that it was going to be like a 007 type situation where they were going very Civil War, not Civil War,
Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Captain America, Winter Soldier with it, with little moments of Black Widow from
Yep.
from Iron Man 2. That's what it was giving me.
Yep. There's definitely that espionage, heavy espionage, like conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? Like that vibe. Like I know what you're talking about with ScarJo, Black Widow, with Cap, and that whole deal when they run into Zola.
Very much Phase 1,
Yeah.
Phase 2 vibes, with something that we've been lacking when it came to Phase 4, which I loved Phase 4, but it did lack some of that integral action-packed moments that actually made sense, as opposed to we're just there for comedic climactic effect.
I think what it boils down to, it boils down to characters and storytelling. It's that simple in the MCU. It's the same thing in the comics. It's characters and storytelling, and who portrays those characters and how well
Overall,
they
for
portray them.
me with the MCU, I've felt like I'm tired of hearing people say that we have to make the Marvel universe realistic in order for it to fit in a movie concept, that is so fucking annoying. They are comic book characters. Why do we have to ground them in some type of reality for cinematic consumption? That irritates the shit out of me because
That's just like the other day when we were doing Last of Us, Jasmine. When you weren't there, but I don't think you weren't there. But with Joey, Joey kept mentioning how Joel like woke up from like his coma or whatever to fight those dudes or take those dudes out, right? Because he wanted to find Ellie, right? When he woke up from his infection or whatever. And he kept harping on that and whatnot. And it just reminds me, Joey reminds me of that because, I love that episode. I thought it was great. I'm not sorry about that, folks. I'm doing like a little bit cross plugging here because we are covering The Last of Us.
Oh, was that the last episode? I haven't seen it yet.
That was episode 8.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, that was the last episode.
I haven't seen past episode 5.
Yeah, I didn't watch that episode.
I'm sorry. Okay, well then
I played the game. I know of it, but I
didn't say anything that would have spoiled anything for you. You'll see what I'm talking about when you watch it. But no, so no, I think you make really good points there, Jazz. And whoever the hell whoever does the music for these fucking trailers, man, thumbs up. Fucking A, man. Like seriously.
Like Danny Elfman to me.
Really good.
What's that? I'm sorry, Jasmine. What'd you say?
I said their music department and scores are really good, but I feel like they focus so much on the music for trailers, and sometimes they put far too much into a trailer.
Oh yeah,
that you feel like you've already watched the film. And with the recent lawsuits for suing people for false advertising, it's definitely going to make trailers giving us way too much even more, because of the fact that they can no longer fake us out with, this character is going to be in this scene when it really isn't going to happen.
Well, Sally, you understand what Jasmine's talking about too, is the fact that like they use this music that builds this fucking intense suspense, and they cram it into the 57-minute deal and whatnot and everything, right? And it is almost kind of like false advertising in a way, because it's like, if it totally does not represent at all what you overall get in encompassment from a full film or from a full 6 episode plus series, right? If it doesn't reflect at all or even connect to the reality of what that output, that's just a letdown, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what happened with the Batman.
Yeah,
but I would like to say it's Danny Elfman.
Oh, Danny Elfman,
the guy who makes the music. I think it's Danny Elfman.
Okay.
There are 3 good composers that Marvel needs to stick with: Elfman, Giacchino, and Giovanni.
Yes.
Yeah. No, and I think they've all won awards, haven't they, with Marvel? Haven't they all been nominated? I think the Academy does give nominations for that stuff, for the scores and stuff like that.
I also like Silvestri.
Oh yeah, Alan Silvestri is really good too. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
But he's like specifically the Avengers, isn't he?
He is the first Avenger, and I forget what other movies. But he's really good.
Oh no, Elfman did Ultron. That's right.
Yeah.
Which
Sorry,
is great.
Didn't mean to
okay.
go.
No, you're okay, Sally. It's
here.
okay. No, but Sally. So, Sally, what do you get off now? What do you get off of that trailer? Because now Jasmine's a comic book, an old school Marvel Comics fan like I am. We know the Secret Invasion storyline from the comics. We both do, at least somewhat loosely. We both know it. I don't know. I don't think you really do. You have some idea, but what kind of vibes you get off that trailer?
Very fucking confused. So it's I'm confused. Is Nick Fury the one we've known and loved since 2008? Was he an alien the whole time? Like, I'm confused. Oh,
I think he was switched out when he got shot
in the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You heard what Amelia Hill said right there in the beginning of the trailer. He's been avoiding Earth. He's been up there in the wherever they're calling it, the peak, or whatever they're calling it in the MCU. I think in the comics they call it the peak. Yeah. He's been up there for years. So let's figure he's probably been up there for what, 3 years at least, right?
Well, 3 years would mean when he came back from the snap.
Yeah. Well, no,
he
got dusted.
Yeah, he did get dusted. So that would mean that he was either dusted from the peak itself, or he's been there longer than that. But with the insinuation of Talos, and I can't remember her name, but the other one from Far From Home's end credit scene, I feel like it's
Maria
been
Hill.
longer than that.
Yeah,
no,
Maria
I was
Hill.
trying to think of the Skrull version. But
Talos'
it has to.
partner? Yeah.
Yes, I think it's been longer than that. It has to have been longer than that because I mean, Far From Home and No Way Home were, they were obviously immediate, but I would have to suspect, despite it being years, that the snap took place and was 5 years. But if Fury was gone, we don't know about Hill's status in that time, right?
That's what I was about to say, Sally.
Yeah.
We have no fucking idea what Maria Hill's been doing since she woke up from the snap, since Hulk snapped. Right?
But was she dusted or was she not?
Oh, she got
We don't
dusted. Yeah.
know.
No, she got dusted. Yes, she did. She got dusted with
Yes.
Nick Fury at the
Oh,
end.
that's right. She did get dusted. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then
Hold on.
I
Hold on,
would
John.
say that it is longer then.
Hold on, John. Let me finish with Sally, and then I'll go to you. Sally. So we haven't honestly we haven't heard shit about Maria Hill. Basically since she got dusted, we haven't seen her.
I don't think I've seen her since earlier than the dusting.
And there's no Shield, right? Like Shield's
right.
gone. Like now they have Sword, but I don't believe that they did. I mean, honestly, I don't believe anybody from Shield, other than Fury, would have been brought into Sword. Right?
I don't think Shield's actually gone. If you remember, because we now know the moment Quake comes into the MCU, we know Agents of Shield is canon.
Well, no. What I heard what loosely is that they're going to do the same thing they're doing with the Netflix series, which is they're going to pick and choose what's canon.
I know, but what I'm saying is, depending on how they do with her, they're going to work around it, but it's still going to make it canon, regardless of the fact some parts of it is going to be canon. So what I'm saying is, more than likely, Shield's probably going to be underground and kind of like Civil War Part 2 type situation, or Civil War that, where they kind of like.
Are you talking? Do you mean like Secret Avengers?
No. I'm talking about how they had secret bases that Fury had.
For his yeah, like he does in the comics. Yeah. So you're saying that you think Shield went underground?
Yeah, I think they went underground, and some of them weaseled their way, kind of like the Hydra agents did, into Sword. That's what I think. And
well, you know what?
And some of them make it in space.
Go ahead, Jazz. No, you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jazz. I didn't mean to cut you off.
And I think some of them might be in space with Fury working with the Skrulls. My biggest issue, what I had with the Skrulls when it came to Captain Marvel's movie, is having them do the whole Skrulls, some are nice, some are not, instead of just going full on villain with them, and reversing the storyline of Captain Marvel, the Captain Marvel comics. It ruins it a little bit for me, because as a comic book fan, I really would have preferred them to have initially introduced them kind of like they did in the comics, with them just being evil.
I understand where you're coming from, and we're going to talk about the Marvels.
Instead of halfway through.
No, we're going to get into the Marvels at the end of the show. That'll be the last thing we talk.
I'm not talking about the Marvels. I'm talking about just Captain Marvel.
No. I know. I don't want to talk about Captain Marvel the movie. I want to get into the Marvel Secret Invasion.
No, because I'm referring to the fact that in Secret Wars, people are going to be Skrulls. That's the whole point of it.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. No, all I'm saying is we're going to talk about the Marvels later on, because it connects directly into Secret Invasion. It is Secret Invasion.
I know. I was just saying that I just hope that they don't go the route of mixed matching in a Secret Invasion with the good and the bad.
They are. That's what they're going to do.
Oh,
There's going
God.
to be. That's what the entire structure of the series is. There are different factions of the Skrulls. Some are good, some are bad.
Oh God, not again.
I think that leads to a little bit of confusion.
And the Kree are going to be involved too in some way too. So either way, Sally, long story short, just so you understand, all Secret Invasion is it's a plot line where essentially, Nick Fury, the reason why he looks so out of it in the trailer and whatnot and everything, and why he says some of the things he says about how he's like the last man standing or whatever and whatnot, In the comics, the Skrulls invade Earth and they basically take over all of the major Avengers, except for like a handful of like a couple of like almost like reservists, like like secondary superheroes that end up not getting Skrulled. Just a handful, and Fury. And Fury's the only fucking motherfucker. He's the only person that even knows what's really going on. Just like in this scenario right here, he's going to be the only one that knows.
Yeah.
Right. And so
that made sense, but I was just thinking like, what the fuck happened to Fury?
Oh, you mean as far as like why he looks the way he does?
No, like kind of, but also, are there two Furies running around now?
No.
Yes.
No, he just had, for whatever reason, that he wanted to have Talos be Fury while he was in space. There's not two Furies. This isn't a multiverse.
No, that's not what I meant. Like, that's not what I meant. I meant like Fury and a body double.
Well, I don't know.
Like a doppelganger.
There might be a Skrull. There could be a Skrull Nick Fury in the series. Yeah, it's possible. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, that's what
I was going to say LMD because of the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. topic.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me. So there may very well be at some point they may show a Nick Fury Skrull or something like that as a part of the series.
Yeah, I know they've been teasing the Skrulls since the after credit scene in the last episode of WandaVision.
Well, this is a limited series. There's not going to be any second season of this. This is a standalone 1-season deal that will go into that will go right into the Marvels, which I like. I do. And John, what were your thoughts when you first saw the trailer?
I was really into it. It gave me the wicked espionage vibes, which I dig espionage a lot. I've always been a I say GoldenEye, but I mean James Bond fan. And that gives me those James Bond, Black Widow, like you said, Winter Soldier, all those vibes that I got from those movies where it was like really like an espionage film instead of a film that's a Marvel movie. It doesn't give me that Marvel vibe, which I don't dislike in this case. Under certain circumstances, obviously, being a Marvel fan, I want Marvel. I like the escapism, but sometimes the groundedness that can become from Marvel, even though it's obviously based in fantasy with characters like the Skrulls that can transform and shapeshift, it still gives you that real world, what the fuck is going on? What are we going to do to figure this shit out kind of vibe, which I truly dig that. And going back to the music, I really got that from the music with this too. And I watched it again earlier, and I didn't catch there's a few things that I didn't catch the first time that
I didn't notice Emilia Clarke was in the trailer the first time.
I did. I noticed her, but I'm still confused as to who she's supposed to be because I saw that the casting says Abigail Brand.
That's actually a good time to bring Sally in. Because
I'm not sure if it's going to be her or if it's going to be Veronica, like a lot of people think.
No, she's going to be Abigail Brand.
Why can't she be both?
Well, why can't we have both?
She's going to play two different characters?
No, they could be the same person.
What person?
What if Abigail Brand has been replaced by Veronica?
Oh, the same thing as what we just talked about with Nick Fury being a Skrull too.
And on that note, by the way, notice that Nick Fury looks two different ways in this trailer. One with one without an eye patch. And that's where that whole Skrull replacement LMD thing comes from as well. Because truly, it makes sense for him to be replaced based on the storyline from the comics.
Yeah.
Now
she looks so much cooler in the comics.
Sally,
from what I can tell.
Homework. Sally, talk about Abigail Brand.
She seems like a badass. I'm gonna say she's ambiguous whether she's good or evil in this, but she seems really, really, really cool. I don't know how else to describe her. Let me check my notes.
Well, she's a mutant.
My screenshots and stuff. Yeah, she's
a mutant.
It says she's a hybrid.
Yeah, she has.
She got her father's powers. Hold on.
Yeah, she has pyrokinesis.
Yeah.
And and her father was an alien, and her mother was a human being. Had the X mutant. She was a mutant herself. Her mother had the X.
I'm on the Secret Invasion part of this wiki page on my phone.
Oh, I
This
don't
is
need you
getting
to.
me.
Yeah, I don't need you to pull all that up and whatnot and everything.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain who Abigail Brand is. Abigail
Yeah.
Brand essentially is in the comics. She actually has Fury's position that you see in the end credits of Spider-Man 3. She runs the peak, the sword, space station and whatnot and everything. Like she actually runs it.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming based off all the rumors that we've heard, I'm sure all of us have heard that she is going to be a member of Sword. And
Yeah.
I think Jasmine makes a good point. I think that she's right. I think Jasmine, I think that there definitely is still Shield. And I think probably
Yeah.
there probably are a shitload of people from Shield that probably ended up in Sword, right? I'm just wondering kind of like what the hell Maria Hill's been doing this whole time. Like, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
I'm honestly, me personally, I'm actually really excited and really charged about that. I'm actually more excited about the fact that Maria Hill is back in the series than I am about Amelia Clark as Abigail Brand. I am because like
Yeah.
I feel like Amelia Hill could be like a wild card as a breakout secondary character possibly in this series. She could be.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Jasmine? Jazz.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Hey, I said, what do you think about the possibility that maybe Maria Hill's character in this show could end up being like a breakout like type deal for her as a secondary character in the series? I see her as a wild card. Like I like her in this series.
I can see that definitely. I mean, I didn't think she was gone anyway. I thought she was in space with Fury. And because if you think about it, they've been giving us hints since phase like 2 that they weren't on Earth anymore, that they were replaced. And we found out that Fury and Hill were Skrulls in Far From Home. So like I know she's still around. I just figured she was in space with Fury, or at least underground doing some espionage.
The reason why they had to have Talos and Talos's partner be Nick Fury and Anita Hill is because even back then Fury knew about the Skrulls. He suspected the secret invasion scenario. Even at that point in the MCU timeline, at that point, Fury, even up in space, Fury was already acknowledging and knew of the threat, right? And that it's already set in place. Like, you know what I'm saying? He comes down to Earth because of it. He's already aware of it in space. He knows that this is going on. And of course, and I'll go to you, Sally, after I go to John. John, Kevin Feige has already flat out said that he sees this as a vehicle basically for Mendelsohn and for Samuel L. Jackson to work together after the way how well they did in Captain Marvel, right? How do you feel about that him describing it as that?
Well, after seeing their chemistry in Captain Marvel and that being one of the actual shining things of that movie, because we know that it wasn't the strongest of Marvel's releases, I think that those two working together in any capacity is going to lead to great content.
Yeah.
But I also think that them individually working with anybody that's already worked in the MCU, barring a few characters, will work out well. I mean, if you put Mendelsohn with Ruffalo, you're going to get a good scene.
Yeah.
If you put him with, it was another example. I'm on Vellani, you're going to get a good scene. And even more so with Sam Jackson. I mean, the guy's got chemistry with anybody he works with. So to
Except
put those two, so who?
Except Brie Larson.
Well, it's hard to work with cardboard, I tell you. But he's just got this charisma about him, and Mendelsohn too. And the fact that you can catch that charisma off of Mendelsohn even in the full makeup, because you could really see him emoting through the makeup, which is something that a lot of people don't actually have the capacity to do. Much more so considering how practical the effects were in his case. But I am looking forward to it in terms of their chemistry together. But I wanted to touch back something that you said a moment ago about how long Fury has known about the invasion. Considering their initial meeting was what, 95? I think he's known longer than just a few years.
Oh yeah, go way back. I think
Definitely.
you know what? I believe that in the footage that they played during either D23 or Comic-Con, that was there was a teaser or something like that, or some footage that they released that had an extended scene with
Rhodey.
with Rhodey, where Rhodey admits that he's known about the Skrull invasion since like 20 years ago or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
There you go. So they have known. They built the peak because of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because of the Kree-Krull deal.
Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to touch on is the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Maria Hill thing. Maria Hill, in my perspective, has been underground rebuilding S.H.I.E.L.D., searching for people who still want to do the jobs, people who are still interested. And I don't think she's looking for S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. I think she's looking for anyone who was there before S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra. Because when you've got to fight an enemy like the Skrulls, all hands on deck.
No, most definitely. And what does that say, Sally? You can tell from the way that they open the trailer that basically when you see Maria Hill and when you see Fury, he's in one of those bunkers Jasmine was talking about, like where one of his hiding spots or whatever and whatnot. In the comics, Sally, he's got all these like trap houses and shit like that and whatnot, where he's got guns and he's got tech and gear and shit and whatnot and everything.
Oh yeah, I know about that. I've read a couple comics.
No, that's how he runs the Secret Avengers, basically.
Mostly the MCU girl.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, you know. And so that's what that when you see that scene with him and Anita Hill, I think that's where he is, and that's basically, I think it's Spider-Woman or Spider-Girl or whoever in the or who I'm trying to think of which character it is he first makes contact with in the comics, about the whole thing and whatnot. But I think that it ends up being Maria Hill right there.
Yeah.
And I think that John's right and Jasmine's right. I think Maria Hill's been working for S.H.I.E.L.D. this whole time, like underground.
Oh, I agree. Definitely. It seems like something the character would do.
Yeah, so
but she looks like she got older.
No, and you know Sal, you know that like that's Fury's ride or die. Like Maria Hill's like his buddy.
Yeah, she's his bitch.
Well,
Sally Stress will do that to you.
I got mad props. I got mad props for Colby Smulders. I love her as Maria Hill. Right?
Yeah, I used to hate Maria Hill, but now I love her.
Hey, isn't it awesome? It's awesome to see characters from the first Avengers film in Secret Invasion.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna assume you hated her because of the Avengers.
No, yeah. She was annoying. She was the only bad part of that movie for 12-year-old me.
I don't know why. I don't know what she could have done wrong.
She just seemed like
she was obnoxious.
Yeah.
She was. I know exactly where she's coming from. You've got this person who's like, she's like the antagonistic version of Coulson in terms of Coulson's the yes guy, and she was like,
no, girl.
We shouldn't do that. You're gonna fucking listen to me anyway, bitch. And she's like, all right, fine.
Well, she's gonna get more screen time probably in this series, I think, than she's ever gotten in the whole MCU, probably.
Well, now she deserves it.
Would you agree with me, Jasmine? Would you agree with me on that?
I agree that like some characters can come off very annoying first appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you feel? But do you feel? I know you care about the original 6 Avengers and the nostalgia of like the fact that we're going to have Guardians of the Volume 3 coming out, and whatnot. We're going to lose some of the Guardians, unfortunately. That's going to hurt, right?
I'm gonna say something controversial.
You know, well, you tell me. Isn't Maria Hill kind of a part of that nostalgia too?
Maria Hill is somebody they can never get rid of just due to the fact that she is very prominent in the comics. My only issue I feel with the way the MCU has gone is they need to start rebooting and recasting these characters so that we can continue to get these characters and their stories. Because in the comics, they don't ever go anywhere. They just reboot the universe and come back.
You ain't wrong.
Please
Yeah,
don't.
if they recast Chris Evans, I'm going to screech.
I don't want to go. I don't.
No,
me
no,
either.
I'm not saying they need to recast Captain America because they already have a new Captain America, but they can take characters from other universes with this, Kang Dynasty War situation and bring them in.
And they will.
And that's what I need from them. I need them to come back with more characters because we got Black Widow, her final we gave her her movie and then killed her, after she was already dead. Like,
They gave us Yelena.
it was just
I
wasted
love Yelena.
for me because the dynamic between Yelena and Natasha in the comics is prevalent to both of the characters. So having killed off one of them just to push the story along is giving me very much plot device.
Well, fuck yeah, baby. We got a Facebook page again, Jasmine. I told you. Look at that shit. There
And
it
plot
is.
devices are very annoying for me when it comes to the MCU. And
They killed off
movies
Coulson
in
and they shouldn't have done
general.
that.
And movies in general when it comes to the Marvel Universe in general. Because
Hey, Josh.
they do have a tendency to do that a lot in Marvel films. Like the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. There was a lot going on in that film. It was a good movie for those who lived in that time frame. Those who don't live in it will find it quite corny, campy. They won't enjoy it as much as those who came before them. But it doesn't matter what genre of Marvel fan you get, there's always something wrong with it. And the formula is still wonky because they continue to.
Yes, but you're going way off a stray here. You're talking about a non-MCU type.
No. I'm saying that regardless of where you are in the fandom of Marvel, especially with the MCU, we need to come back to the fact that they are superheroes and not human beings in our actual reality, and stop trying to ground them in it. Because with this spy, I can't tell if this is a movie or it's going to be a show. Because
it's going to be a series. We're reviewing it. We're reviewing it in less than a month. You're going to be reviewing.
No, because they keep changing it. They keep every time I hear a rumor, it's a show, it's a movie, it's a show, it's a movie.
No. You're thinking Armor Wars. Armor Wars was the one that was going to be a movie that got transitioned.
Oh, Armor Wars. Okay.
Yeah. No, Armor Wars, and Armor Wars is going to be a movie, and it's coming out in Phase 6.
But it's now it's going to be a series now again.
Okay.
It's going to be a film. It's going to be a film.
I thought it was the other way around.
More time to break down these characters in this story, because I thought if we're going to have like the evil Skrulls, the good Skrulls, the Kree, all that in a movie, that's a lot going on and feels very congested and compact, and doesn't give much for development and storytelling and exposition, because Marvel had a lot of problem with that in Phase 4.
Okay.
Not enough time to explain the story and everything we're going through.
I get what you're saying. So basically, Sally, as far as the Abigail Brand character goes, you like Emilia Clarke, obviously. We talked about this earlier, whatnot, and everything. You were jazzed when you found out that she's in the show.
I've actually, and this is controversial, I've never actually seen her in much of anything other than Game of Thrones, and I've only seen like 4 episodes of that show, including the one with the Starbucks cup. But I liked her as Daenerys, and I'm sure I'm gonna like her as Amelia. Amelia?
That's her real
Amelia's
name.
the actress. Oh my god, Amelia's the actress. As Abigail.
Jazz, can you jump in for a minute for me, sweetie, and just for 1 second?
Sally, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure you're going to hate it just like everybody else does, but Terminator Genesis also had Emilia Clarke as a young Sarah Connor.
let's just
I've
say
only seen 2 Terminator movies, and they're
let's
the
just
first
say they
2.
don't do a very good job with Terminator movies after a while. So in general, it's just
The
like
only thing I know is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I love Terminator 2 is one of my favorite all-time movies.
Yeah.
it's 1 and 2
A lot
were
of
the
people's.
good ones. Let's just be frank about it.
It's a lot of people's favorite movie, honestly.
It's just so impassably good. Like for 91, 92 to have as much good graphics and visuals as it did, it's pretty
Why are
hard
we
to top.
talking about Terminator now?
Because Jeff left.
Okay.
But I do want to know your opinions, though. When it came to Phase 4, what was it that made you no longer feel like you were very pessimistic about it?
You mean optimistic?
No, pessimistic. Where it made you like made you pessimistic. I was gonna say what no longer optimistic, but I was like, wait, do we have a word for that? Pessimistic.
Yeah, between I was a really big regular on the show last year, and I was also going through some personal shit. So it felt like more of an obligation than a thing I do for fun to watch the MCU. It has nothing to do with most of the shows, because honestly, I didn't even watch most of them. But Phase 4 was pretty annoying to me, just because they couldn't seem to stick to a storyline or a plot. Hey, Jeff.
No, they all Phase 4 actually did very well when it came to connecting. It just it didn't seem that way at the time, is my opinion.
Yeah,
John, I knew Jasmine would somehow manage to sneak Phase 4 up in this bitch.
I
well, he stuck Terminator in. What if
did
he
stick
stuck
Terminator in.
I knew it, Jazz.
We were talking about Amelia Clark. It's my fault.
How do you? I was setting you up, Jasmine. I'm telling you, I was setting you up. I wanted to see if you would go back to Phase 4 and shit and whatnot. If I did for a minute and whatnot, so I stepped back.
Horrible.
I stepped back, hit my crack pipe a couple times, real quick and whatnot, everything, and just waited to see what you'd do.
You're the crack man.
And you took the bait. Oh yeah, I'm all about it. I'm telling you right
wait,
now.
is he on crack?
All my passwords have something to do with crack or sex. Like all my passwords are like pussy, all good. 1997 $sign, or like crack all day, baby. You know, 18,
crack rocks with a $sign at the end.
Yeah, crack
Baby
is
with
good.
the
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I find crack amusing. I really do. I think it's funny as shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong with anything involving humor and crack.
You need to do something where we all just do a load of crack or do a line of crack.
I've been trying to find somebody to team up with me to do a reaction video on YouTube where we smoke crack and like react to it.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, it is not a good time.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think YouTube would actually allow me to get to like. I don't think the video would last very long on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would
No, it would.
cut.
It wouldn't even land. It would be gone before you hit the upload button.
We need to put that on your shit. We need to put that on your shit with your what do you call it? With your Patreon and all that, right?
Yeah,
it'll stay there. It'll stay there.
If you use Patreon, Jazz, can you get away with the crack rock reaction then?
Patreon and OnlyFans, safe
I am already on crack. But
safe places for the crack. Safe.
Crack does not count as crack. Okay.
Me and Jasmine,
crack.
I'm on live crack.
Me and Jasmine are eternally planning the OnlyFans for the MCU's Bleeding Edge right now. Actually, we're gonna have our own OnlyFans of the Bleeding Edge. We're gonna be the only fandom OnlyFans where we're gonna have like people fucking in like
all kinds of crack,
like gear and shit and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like the Avengers film as an orgy, like as a porno.
I am not giving you my feet pics.
like the original Avengers, XXX baby.
Pornhub's already got it, I'm sure.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now.
Don't ask.
I would be down. I would be down to see a Skinamax version of Captain Marvel.
It'd probably be infinitely better than the actual movie was.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that shit would be hot. I'll tell you right now. I would definitely kick it in a private manner with Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and fucking Brie.
Miss
Hell yeah.
Marvel's a child.
Yes, she is.
Jeff.
No, that Milani chick is 21 years old, baby. She's legal.
But the character is a child.
Well,
I mean, I don't think he was talking
She's
about the
like
characters.
17.
well, then in the two different in the scenario where I'm in the MCU like timeline or whatever, whatnot, and everything, she can watch and learn.
Oh,
like,
God.
Worse.
Jeff.
That's worse. That's
That's
worse.
like just like
That's
Jubilee.
worse.
When I
For
do
the
my
record,
when I do my threesome with Jean Grey, Rogue, and Storm.
for the record, I bet you all wish Terminator was the topic now.
Anyway, so no,
Kinda, yeah.
so no, just to get back on track with Secret Invasion, right? Abigail Brand is a mutant now. Sally, you didn't. I don't think you may even not even realize this, Sally, since I don't think you saw Wakanda Forever. Did you?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. I don't think you know,
it.
but Namor actually admitted vocally to being a mutant. Essentially, like he is our first open. You know, they made Miss Marvel a mutant to some extent, basically. Well, whatever. I love the Miss Marvel series. I thought it was
No,
great.
I love the show, but her being a mutant's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way,
I haven't
now
seen past episode 3.
Abigail Brand's a mutant, so it'll be interesting to see how they decide to handle that. I mean, now that Namor's out the gate and whatnot, right? Is there really any reason now to prevent them anymore to like try to hold back the whole mutant deal? I mean, honestly, at this point, Sally, don't you think it's time for them to just go ahead and start allowing this concept to be like a normal thing?
Do you mean like allowing mutants into the MCU?
Yeah, start actually letting some of these characters be flushed out as mutants. I mean, Abigail Brand is
Absolutely.
like, I mean, she has the mutant ability to be able to like, you know, create heat with her hands to like levels where she can basically like melt through anything. Like, I don't know about, you know, I don't know how she would do with like vibranium or whatever, or adamantium. But I know that, like, at least from what I've read about her and what I know from the comics and whatnot about her, she's not really good in a fight. That's why she's got a gun in there. But she can get through like a barrier or a door or whatever or whatnot. Like, you can't trap her. She'll just burn her way through.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what she did. But she can't.
I'm just gonna paraphrase the Queen Lizzo. It's about damn time.
Hey, you know what, John? You got to give props to Marvel Studios, because whatever, you know, people in the fandom may say about Phase 4, Phase 4 certainly did not scare away the top talent actors and actresses and whatnot, the big name actors and actresses, from wanting to sign up with Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
I have a quick point about that whole Abigail Brand thing. Do we think it's possible that her presence is kind of like a backdoor way to get the Super Skrull into the MCU?
I don't think we're going to get the Super Skrull in the Secret Invasion series. I don't see it happening.
I mean, it would be the perfect place to introduce him.
Oh, I'd love to see it, but I just don't see it. I mean, I don't. Well, hey, maybe when they drop that second trailer, the Super Skrull will be in there, right?
Well, I'm thinking the only reason I'm thinking about it, right, because we have Amon Vellani's stretching power. We have pyrokinesis from Brand, and we've got the strong arm from Hulk. We only have one missing piece of the Super Skrull that wouldn't necessarily fit into the original, but would still have the concept behind it. So I'm wondering if they kind of break away from the Fantastic Four version for an alternative version to get the character in.
Well, from what we understand, essentially from what's been rumored and whatnot and everything, what's not official, but what's been rumored, and I'm actually going to play that other trailer. Basically, this faction of Skrulls is led by Kingsley Ben-Adir as Gravik, who is the leader of a group of like rebel Skrulls that is going to be like, you know, supposedly the Secret Invasion faction, I suppose, or whatever, you know, the series. Now, Olivia Colman is also in the series as Sonya Falsworth from the comics, who's also with S.H.I.E.L.D., a special agent who was an old ally of Fury's. She's not from S.H.I.E.L.D. She's from the UK's version of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the comics. Like their own, like, you know, the UK, like the British version of like, you know, MI6 type shit. She's in the series too. And Martin Freeman, of course, we saw him in the trailer as Everett K. Ross is going to be in there, right? That's dope. I like that a lot.
Oh my god!
Right? And We know,
Sorry.
of course. What's that, Sally?
I just remembered who Martin Freeman is.
Who
Sorry.
is he?
Everett K. Ross.
He plays Frodo, and he plays or what did he play?
No,
Bilbo?
he didn't play Frodo. He played Bilbo.
He played
Bilbo.
Bilbo, and he played Watson in the Sherlock series, which I am very emotionally attached to.
That I didn't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. I didn't watch. I only watched a couple
He was
episodes.
sexy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Are they?
Aged like
John, Jasmine, are they ever going to make that friggin' that third RDJ Sherlock and Holmes film?
He has plenty of time on his hands now, although he's got no hair, so I imagine he might take a little while to catch up to it. You haven't seen him recently? He shaved his head.
Bring him back.
Yeah, he
What
shaved
did
his
you
head
say?
for Oppenheimer.
Oh, I remember that.
Trying to bring RDJ back.
He'll come
Well-
back for Secret Wars.
No, but I'm sure.
I don't know how they're
I'm
going to
sure
do
he will
that.
come back, but I do want. I would like to see them make
Apparently they're saying he's going to be a hologram just like he was in the comic.
Yeah, but no. But wouldn't you like to see them make the third Sherlock Holmes film though with him
That's
and
his
what's his
version
name?
of facepalm.
Honestly, it's been so long, who cares?
I thought the second one was really good.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but it's
God.
been so long, who cares?
Yeah,
Didn't he play
I
Dr.
understand that.
Dolittle too? I might be getting
Yes,
this
he did. I didn't even
No.
watch it.
In the most forgettable remake of all time, yes.
That was so
Yeah, I
bad.
haven't seen it. I didn't want to watch
don't
it.
watch it.
I like Eddie Murphy too much.
Yes.
It's so bad that
Okay.
I stopped halfway through.
Yeah, I would not even
Yeah.
bother. I wouldn't even waste my time.
I'm not
As
going
far
to.
as far as Secret Wars, he could come back as an older, superior Iron Man from an alternate universe, and I'd be
No, what I
fine with it.
I also heard that they were thinking of doing that as well, making him be the big bad beside Kang in the Secret Wars Kang Dynasty.
I wouldn't hate that.
Doom is in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Doom,
After Scarlet Witch for killing off the Illuminati. That's what I've been hearing.
they've got to include Doom in the whole battle world thing.
I feel like they haven't even built up Doom yet, so having him be a big bad in any capacity outside of the Fantastic Four is just bad.
no,
and
he's
bad.
not going to be a big bad. Kang's going to be the big bad, but I do think.
I mean like him coming in and acting all tough and bad when he hasn't even really had his own proper introduction.
He needs to be a series villain. Like he needs to be the next Thanos. He needs to be the next Kang.
Yeah.
I think he's going to partner up with Kang in some way or whatever and whatnot. Like they're not going to not do, Battle World or whatever and whatnot. They're going to use the Kang multiversal war to flush out. Hold on, John. They're going to use. I got you. They're going to use the Kang multiversal war and whatnot to create the environment that's going to break reality and everything and whatnot, and then basically have to enter into, what's going to then create, the Avenger 6, which is of course going to be what, Secret Wars, right? Yeah,
no, I thought it was Secret Wars and then Kang Dynasty.
Kang Dynasty.
The other way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and it's going to be the Kang multiversal war. That is going to start waging very soon in the MCU. It's already basically started after Ant-Man 3. That is going to be the event that's going to then break reality and time and everything. It's all going to tie into Loki season 2, right? Loki season 2 is going to be very heavily into that. It's going to very heavily Loki season 2 is going to set right up into Avengers 5 and 6. It's going to kind of explain how the process could happen, what could occur to where reality could break. And you could get like all of a sudden, what do you call it? Krasinski, Fantastic Four, Reed Richards popping up, bam, right?
I hate that guy.
Well, whatever. He's going to you better learn to love his ass because he's going to be Reed Richards. So
he was turned into silly string.
No, that was just one version of him. He's going to be Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four.
I just don't like the actor that much. Like after Jim Halpert, he just annoyed me.
Well, then you're on your own team with one person because like millions of people wanted him to play the character.
No, like I respect the actor. I loved A Quiet Place, but watching him play a really creepy employee of Dunder Mifflin for 10 years kind of freaked me out.
I'm sorry. Every time I see him in that scene from the Illuminati now, I always go back to that meme that goes with him talking down to Doctor Strange, and then it goes over to James Spader saying, "Why is Jim being mean to the magician?"
It's funny.
Yes.
That's
And
funny.
it's just fantastic.
Obviously, I think that going back to Secret Invasion, let me go ahead and put this other trailer so we get something visual to work with here to kind of get things barking here a little bit, just like Crack does.
Yes.
Don't let me forget my point.
Don't forget your
Hold
point.
on, save it, John. I got you. Hold on. I won't forget.
I don't think there was too many differences. I don't think there was too many additional scenes, but I'm pretty sure I saw a handful of different things in this secondary trailer that weren't in the first.
Well, maybe they blended some of the shit from Comic-Con or whatever
It
into
all
it or
starts
something.
with Snuggle.
Oh,
Hi, Snuggle Bear.
Brandy.
Tell me, what happened?
Oof.
Big oof.
Is that the
The
sorry.
Skrull Empire has taken possession of
Yeah,
your
that was the
planet.
whole trailer.
I thought it
I will
was
require S.H.I.E.L.D.'s full surrender.
Fury, we gotta be very careful now. Yeah, well, this is different.
3 years, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
I was talking to somebody else.
Oh shit.
How much do I know about it?
Video call.
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
That's the Coleman address right there.
Tell me, what happened?
This is just the beginning.
And I'm the last
It is the
person
first
standing between
Comic-Con or
them
whatever.
and what they really want.
I'm gonna play that again. That is what it is, John.
That's exciting.
I think some of that is actually some of the stuff that they played during D23 or during Comic-Con.
I wish we could get our hands on that extended beginning scene with Rhodes, because that would be good to see.
No, you can't get it. Believe me, I've tried on YouTube.
Oh, I know.
I will require S.H.I.E.L.D.'s full surrender.
You do get it. It's all fucked up and distorted and everything.
Yeah.
Fury, we gotta be very careful
He
now.
just has that voice.
Yeah, well, this is different.
3 years, and you've been pretty content to let those calls go straight to voicemail.
No makeup, maybe.
What do you mean? How much do I know about it?
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us.
Tell me, what happened?
This is just the beginning.
And I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
Oh, so that was actually Abigail Brent putting a gun on Fury. But was that Fury with the eye patch or without the eye patch?
It looked like with the eye patch.
It looked like Fury was talking to himself at one point.
It looks like the
He
eye
might
patch.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Jasmine, is it just me or does it look like the eye patch Fury is the Skrull Fury? Oh, you got a bail, Jazz?
Yeah, but no, it's not the Skrull Fury once you reveal the eye. They can't duplicate. There's certain things that they've shown you. They tell you earlier on in the franchise that will let you know when Nick Fury's a Skrull and when he's not. He pointed out that he can't eat. He can't. If you cut a sandwich diagonally, he can't eat it. And then we see him in Civil War. What does he do? Or which one is this? The one with Captain America Winter Soldier, when he cuts the sandwich into diagonally and then eats it. That's the moment you knew he wasn't a Skrull. He was a Skrull the whole time. Since then and on.
I feel like that's fair.
So I feel like it really just depends. If you lift that patch up and his eye is like gone, there's a difference. Because they can duplicate things, but they can't duplicate you completely. And they point that out in the comics as well. There's some things they just can't duplicate.
Like powers and things like that and whatnot.
Yeah. So there's just some things they can't duplicate. That's
And Flerken
genetically
scratches.
put on for you.
Jazz, do you need to take off?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. I want to go to John. John has said something he's wanted to say for a minute here and whatnot. I want to throw to him. But I guess I will probably. It was good to see you. Thanks for coming on with us.
No problem.
And I'll see you on Wednesday for Mandalorian. What episode 3?
I'll see you then as well.
All right, Jazzy. Be good, hon.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. I mean, meet you and bye, Sal.
Bye.
Okay, John. Now go ahead. What was it that you wanted? What was it you wanted to get out there and talk about?
Sorry, I had my son ask me a question.
Oh, you're totally fine, brother.
So I have a suspicion that this is going to be, because we were talking about Dr. Doom and how he's going to be the big bad. I personally think he's going to be the next big bad. And how I think they're going to do it is he's going to get introduced in the Fantastic Four. He's not going to be the major player that we all know. And we're going to get the end of Secret Wars. And he's going to do like he did in the comics and become the Beyonder. Except he's not going to lose the power. And that's going to be the setup for him to be the major player for Phase 7.
You talking about you think that's going to play out in Secret Invasion?
No, Secret Wars, because we were talking about how he needs to be a big bad.
Oh,
and he does. He
Yeah,
needs to be a big bad, and I think that's the way they do it.
Oh, well, come on. I mean, look, my biggest disappointment with Wakanda Forever was that it was so bad that, like, I didn't even stick around and see the Doom and credit scene and whatnot and everything. Sorry.
There wasn't one. There wasn't one.
Oh, there wasn't one. I thought there was one.
Nope, there was
You
no
don't
Doom
gotta worry
credit scene.
about spoiling these movies for me, man.
Oh, so there was no Doom.
I'll watch them at some point.
I heard there was a Doom end credit scene.
Nope, there was not.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever told me that was full of shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, you got played.
I mean, most people are.
I thought
the
Doom was already
movie.
you.
So the movie wasn't the worst movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was long, and that was my issue with it. Just to segue after that really quick. Since you're not worried about, are you worried about it being spoiled, Jeff?
Oh, look, we're gonna do our ranking shows here soon. Like, I mean, I'm adding a Monday show. As of tomorrow, I'm gonna do the first Monday show on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. There you go, folks. Monday evenings, 9:35 p.m. Eastern, 6:35 p.m. Pacific. Got to say that so many times every week. It's like
it just falls out of the mouth.
You said it way too fast. I can't.
I know because I say it all the time, constantly, all the time, or I'm texting it constantly or whatever. It's just like constant.
Yeah.
But
so are you worried about me spoiling something? I'm just going to tell you the credits here.
We're going to do our ranking shows. We're going to be doing our ranking shows here soon.
Okay, so
like literally in this couple weeks. As far as spoilers go, what do you mean with Sally?
No, well, in general, because I just want to tell you the end credit scene, so you don't have this delusion of.
From Wakanda Forever? No, go ahead. It's my fault. It's my fault that I didn't stay and watch it. My son wanted to leave.
So, as far as the credit scene for that movie, it was actually an introduction to T'Challa Jr.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So that was the end credit scene, and how he was born and kept a secret from the Wakandan nation, and he is alive. He's like 5 or 6 or whatever years old, and I suspect they're just obviously going to segue him into becoming Black Panther sooner rather than later.
They should have they should have had a mid credits scene with Dr. Doom, and they should have had an end credits scene with Storm.
I would have been disappointed. I would have been very disappointed.
Come on,
if we got
disappointed. Not the Storm part, I get it, but Doom
needs to be introduced.
Would have been perfect for Doom.
Doom needs to be introduced with the rest of the Fantastic Four. He is a Fantastic Four character, and to introduce him in another thing would be insulting. But
John, you already know though that hasn't Kevin Feige made it clear in the past, and I'm not saying that this is in any way means that I know I'm psychic or something. You know, he's made comments in the past about wanting to put distance between the Fox stuff that's been done with these franchises.
Oh no, that I agree with. But to take, like, even right now, I'm slightly disappointed with the fact that we got Kang and Quantumania. Sorry to segue further, but Kang and Quantumania, we got Nathaniel Richards without the rest of the fucking Richards family, and it's bothering me.
Yeah.
It's bothering me a lot because we're getting the 31st century Richards before we get our Richards family, which I understand he's going to be the big bad, but shouldn't we at least get where he came from before we get who he is?
Well, yes, of course, but you know what? At the end of the day, look, you know, there's I've seen and experienced worse shit during the She-Hulk Disney Plus series and whatnot and everything than any of these trivial things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
What
just in
is
that
with
one
you and
series.
She-Hulk?
Sally, until you watch it, you're never gonna understand. It's that simple. You just
Spandex is her best friend.
listen. The
That's all
episodes
I know.
the episodes are 30 minutes long. If you can't sit down and watch 9 episodes of 30-minute shows,
I'll
then I don't know
do
what to tell
it.
you.
I'll do
Sally,
it.
I didn't hate it.
It's
I didn't hate it.
that's honestly, and that's the thing, John. It shouldn't be like a camp. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what the MCU fandom is supposed to be about, right? Like we're not supposed to be parts or sections and shit like that and whatnot. I don't like that stuff.
There
And
are no.
I love
nations.
Jazzy to death, but I don't like it. I didn't like it in the beginning of the show when Jazzy said that that anybody like who was pessimistic with like Phase 4 or whatever or whatnot or like felt scared off of Phase 4 or parts of Phase 4 for the future of the MCU, automatically she put those people into this like category of toxic, like the She-Hulk people.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? The people that supposedly She-Hulk was made for. That's who she tried to like say.
The people that it was
Like
made
toxic
for.
femininity.
Yeah, that's what she was
Or
trying
the people. Okay, so to me, there is two sections of people in that specific regard. There's the people that enjoyed it and the people that it was made to talk about.
Well, the thing about it is, John, is that at the end of the day, for me, like, look, She-Hulk was the first Marvel release of any kind or whatever that ever injected left and right into the dichotomy for me. I never experienced it with any other MCU product.
Didn't whatever her name is, Brie Larson do that too?
No, Brie Larson, that's not what I'm talking
She was
about. External.
That's
What actors and actresses politics are or whatever means nothing to me, Sally. I could care less. Mark Ruffalo is some of the things he says.
I think what Sally's trying to say is how
Mark
much
Ruffalo's
there
leftist.
was. Well, I think you were trying to get at the fact that they tried to heavily focus on her femininity in Captain Marvel and how it was anti-misogynistic, which
She's not like other girls.
Yeah, well, and she was like always, talking down to the man, and there was a lot of that whole toxic masculinity, as that was pointed out.
I got more of that at the end of She-Hulk than I did in Captain Marvel.
It was much more subtle for sure in Captain Marvel. I mean, it was also.
I never heard any of that.
It was in the movie. The guys treated her like a girl in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Oh yeah, those scenes. Yeah.
People were saying like she's the villain, and those people are just the ones that sympathize
with the shitty man.
with the shitty man instead of the person he's harassing.
100%.
You can watch the reviews when we did the She-Hulk episode series. I liked the first 5. I liked the first 5 episodes. I thought it was good. If you go back,
the last episode was great.
I thought the finale was garbage. But see, that's the thing about the fandom. We're allowed to have those opinions, John.
Yeah.
Like the MCU wouldn't be fun or whatever, or be a fun place to hang out and kick it and whatnot if we didn't have different opinions, right? Like, I mean, you're saying
I got the Deadpool vibes. That's why I love it so much. I'm just gonna say.
But here's the thing, though. But that's the thing, is that what I love about being the creator of this YouTube channel podcast, what I'm really proud of at the end of the day is the fact that this is a space where people can come on here and we don't have to, it doesn't matter what political spectrum, what politics we align with. We can all be friends. We can all get along. We can joke. We can bust each other's balls, have a good time, talk about superhero shit, review TV series and shit that we like, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, have a good time and enjoy ourselves and whatnot, have fun. Right. And so, I guess again, like, look, eventually I'm going to stop making jokes about She-Hulk and whatnot and everything and all that. It's going to get played out. But like,
I think it already has.
Overall, like, look, again, you have to understand, you can go back and look as a guest on multiple podcasts, multiple shows. When people asked me to do preview shows for Phase 4, I held She-Hulk up very highly. I thought it was probably going to be the best Disney Plus series that came out last year. I did.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I also, in my gut, flat out, and I called it, John, I did on this one. I said, for some reason in my gut, that I thought Miss Marvel was going to end up being decent too. I was like, I think for whatever reason, I'm telling people are not going to like the character from the comics, but which I was right about that. We had a hard time even finding other people that would collaborate with us to even come on to do the reviews of Miss Marvel, and that was the first time I ever had that problem. Like nobody wanted to come on.
Problematic parents standpoint.
Why do you still
her
hover
mom
on
was
that?
a narcissist?
Yeah,
Because that's the only thing I saw.
Yeah, but you didn't watch the whole. By the end of the series, they resolved it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that is
out, like,
wishful thinking. For
no,
most
it's
people.
reality. Like it's all straightened out. Like by the end of the series, like you
Yeah,
understand.
it's the end of the series for Ms. Marvel. The parents have come around full circle.
That's why I'm saying, Sal, you can't hover on that still to this day. If you just watched the other 3 or 4 episodes you didn't watch,
I refuse to let my opinion change no matter what.
You'll see that like what you're talking about is moot.
Yeah,
It's trivial.
Turning Red and Kanto and Miss Marvel were like the 3 things that broke me.
You can't hover about something in a TV episodical series if you don't watch it all the way through.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'll watch it all the way through.
I was about to say, come on.
If it'll get you to shut up.
I bought that Miss Marvel poster because I stopped at the 5 o'clock free crack special.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that's my Miss Marvel poster right there. I know John saw that shit.
Well, I want some free crack now.
I know. John knows.
I get me through the series.
John already knows I didn't put that poster up as a joke or anything like that and whatnot. It's real. I put that poster up because I like that. I think that shot. Real. I think that shot is fucking stunning.
Well, it's also from the comics.
Loki and Sylvie behind you.
You can't see. Yeah, you can't see the actual shot I'm talking about, where she's sitting on the lamppost and everything and whatnot.
Oh, I've seen that shot anyway.
It's absolutely it's wonderful. It's a wonderful shot.
I will give it one thing. The episodes that I saw had really, really good effects.
Oh yeah, it's a great series.
Compared to She-Hulk, it's impossible to tell.
John and I have talked about this before. He agrees with me, I think. Didn't you, John? Miss Marvel was the most well-produced Disney Plus series Marvel did last year.
Loki was up there.
No, Loki was the year before. I'm talking about last year.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, Miss Marvel was. Remember what I said here. The most well-produced.
Last year. Yeah. Last year was that one, She-Hulk, and that was it, right?
Moon Knight.
Oh, I really liked Moon Knight too, but there wasn't too much in the way of special effects.
Moon Knight was not as consistent episodically as Miss Marvel was.
But it did treat mental health like a thing. It did really treat mental health like a thing.
Of the show from episode to episode, the energy was not as good. The story didn't carry over from episode to episode.
It did seem kind of broken, yes.
Yes, and it was disjointed, and the finale wasn't very good. And that's one thing
that's one thing Marvel has trouble with in general.
Disney Plus, yes, they have trouble with it, but that's why you got to give Miss Marvel credit. At least they did an okay job with the finale.
Ms. Marvel, Loki, and WandaVision all had solid endings.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody has a problem with
WandaVision was amazing.
I never understood. I don't get that.
So beautifully done.
The only thing I could honestly grasp and be on the same page would be the special effects when you see Wanda fight Agatha and when they're in the air flying and shit, when they're just throwing the energy balls at each other.
Yeah,
I thought that shit kind of played out. Like got kind of repetitive a little bit. I was like, come on, I'll give me something different to work with here. You know what I mean? Like, that got a little bit whatever. But besides that, I'm sorry, but that ending where she has to let Vision go, right, is like one of the most heartbreaking, fucking heart-shattering shit I've ever seen in my life.
I was fugly crying at 1 a.m. when my family was trying to sleep at that ending. Fugly crying.
I think people who didn't like that series or whatever, right from jump, because of the first couple episodes or whatever, didn't even grasp the
They didn't understand television. They saw.
They didn't. They probably, if they saw the finale, they didn't even grasp the concept of what Vision even was at that point, right?
I think we all knew it. If I had to guess, we were all in the privy at that point, knowing he wasn't legit.
Yeah, he was a construct based off of the Soul Stone and the memories that Wanda had of him.
Mind Stone.
Yeah, and the memories of the sitcom she watched as a kid.
Yes, and yet at the same time though he had free will. He did.
Yes,
he had
to some degree. It ended with the wall.
But still though he had sentient will. Isn't that something?
He definitely had free will. He
did.
Definitely.
So I mean,
to a very high extent, what was going on?
That should right there should explain to people how intense fucking Wanda's powers are.
Well, that
Yeah.
and logic serves that if we say goodbye, we'll say
She
hello
could do
again.
something
Oh,
like
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Oh, I know. Oh, you talking about
I cried my eyes out like a
no,
baby.
and we're gonna get White Vision back, baby.
Yes, Vision Quest. Bring it. Bring it.
Are they gonna do Vision Quest? Did they make it official?
Vision Quest is confirmed, and it's actually shooting this year.
That's
No
amazing.
shit, really. Is it gonna be all about this year's gonna be all about him trying to find his penis?
It better be about him making his Viz family.
His what?
Oh,
His Vision family. The
oh,
Vision
they're
family.
gonna do that plot. Wow.
I would love that.
Wait.
Wait.
Wanda
You don't
and
know.
the twins
Wait.
were his family.
You don't know
No,
for
he
sure.
makes his own family in comics.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't know for sure that's what they're doing. They're just calling it.
No, that's my hope. That's my hope.
I was gonna say, yeah.
The show is called Vision Quest. That's my hope for the storyline.
I don't know if they're gonna go in that direction.
That just broke me. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'll pull up a picture to really break you.
John, I'm telling you, I think
God.
I think he's gonna end up back with Wanda.
We
hope
don't
he
know if
does.
she's alive.
She is alive.
No, she's definitely alive. I think
they've already
she's
made it
teleported.
official. Nah, Marvel Studios already officially said that she survived.
Yeah,
They already have.
she must have teleported or something when
Yeah.
when she sacrificed herself.
Or she could have just used her own powers to create a shield and whatnot and everything from the debris and all that shit and whatnot. She could have said,
Yeah, I knew from the ending of that movie. Yeah, she's gonna be back. She'll be back.
No, John, you know how sometimes Marvel Studios will just leak little like crumbs of information to the
Yes.
media and whatnot about characters and whatnot. They already did that with her. They already
Even
said that
still,
she's alive and everything.
I think when she comes back, it's gonna. So this is my theory, and I know we're supposed to be talking about.
Oh
because of
no,
Vision.
John! I told you
But-
the Sunday show is the show where we just if we want to go on rabbit holes and shit, we just go.
So
Go to Wonderland.
I think
motherfuckers.
with Vision Quest coming, she's going to be out of the picture until he puts his family together. He puts his family together. She finds it. Boom! There goes the whole House of M concept. Except it's not going to be no more mutants. It's going to be expand the mutants, so she feels less alone, because she already feels alone. So she's going to blow up the whole concept of mutants tenfold. So we have a couple now. We don't know where the fuck the rest of them are. We've got no idea of who these people are.
Sally,
Boom, this happens.
Yeah.
And now we got a whole bunch of them.
we better not connect this guy with Gunner because Gunner is all Gunner was obsessed all last year with the whole House of M thing was going to happen and whatnot and everything and all that.
House of M can't happen as it stands in comics. It's impossible.
Well,
yeah.
no, I was going to say, hold on a minute. Don't they have to? I mean, if they how can they even try to do House of M when we don't even have an X-Men yet?
Well, that's my point.
Yeah,
They're not
that's
going to
true.
make it House of M. They're going to make it like a more. She makes more mutants instead of eliminates mutants, so she feels less alone.
They
She
still
already
haven't,
made
more
two
of herself.
mutants.
they still haven't
I
they still haven't even declared that she is a mutant yet.
She
know.
already made two. With
We don't.
Vision.
I honestly, honestly, I'm hoping they do. I want her. I'd like Magneto to be her father, just like in the comics. I'd like that to work out that way.
Her parents are
Um,
dead, Jeff. They died
I'll tell
in
you.
an explosion.
Breaking dreams right here.
The fervor around WandaVision, right? Which is when we started the Bleeding Edge. It was like endgame level, almost like in a different way.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
it was like just everyone just wondering, are we going to get Magneto in this series? Is Mephisto going to be in this? Like when are we going to get Mephisto?
And then we got
like,
Agatha.
I mean, seriously, like that fervor. Now, and that's the thing, John. And I think Sally, I think this is interesting. When it comes to Phase 4, the big thing is I think that all of us, I think none of us, I think we all could probably admit, honestly, that after Endgame, it never occurred to any of us mentally that we really would get like a steep drop off.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us really ever cognizantly thought about it for a minute and we're like, okay, wait a minute.
If
Yeah,
you
that's
told
fair.
12-year-old me that Endgame was like a thing that was going to happen and it would end the way it did and half the universe would be snapped away in 2018, I would have laughed in your face.
But that's not my point.
At age 12, but yeah.
My point is this. My point is that
What the fuck? Ew.
No, my
Oh
point
my
is
god,
that
ew, John.
I don't think that any of us actually were like really did. I think we knew, maybe existentially, there had to be a change of guard and everything and whatnot. We knew what was
I'm
coming
so
to us.
sorry.
But then COVID kicked in, and and the pandemic kicked in,
Yeah.
and I think that we kind of just, all of us, like, we never reset ourselves and prepared ourselves and said to ourselves internally, like, guess what? When we go see Black Widow, when we go see Shang-Chi, this shit is not going to be Endgame level shit. It's not
No,
going to be.
Definitely not.
there's no way anyone
Endgame
could have
was like
expected
a
that.
once in a
No.
lifetime
But
thing.
do you get what I'm saying? Though I know, I myself personally, I can tell you this right now. I never thought about it tangibly in my head, right after Endgame, when I went to see Spider-Man 2, right after or whatever,
Yeah.
finished Phase 4. I at that point had never even thought about the fact that, wait a minute, when we lose the original 6 Avengers, or like most of them,
Yeah, we lost most of them.
this shit's the level of quality of the storytelling, of the entertainment value of these releases is going to like go so downhill compared to what we're used to, that it's going to be fucking like no, I'm not trying to say it's all like that. I'm just saying it never occurred to me that we'd have that steep of a drop off. So,
Yeah,
Sally, you
same.
feel like you never thought about that too, and that maybe that's part of the reason why you got so down?
Yeah, I feel like
Did you let that Endgame
Yeah.
high fucking like just take over for you?
pretty much, yeah. And it's only because my two favorite characters wound up together at the end. That was it. And then I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna like the rest, but they're Endgame, so it's okay. And then I was like, I was horribly wrong. Because everything after WandaVision for me was just sort of boring.
John,
You
this
didn't
is
like Loki?
I haven't seen much of Loki.
This is interesting,
Oh!
John. This is
I'm on
really
episode
John, this is
3.
very interesting.
I'm
Because I
listening.
know Sally personally, and I didn't realize it until now that that's really what her problem's been this whole time. Like
Oh, God.
she's been like, she's admitted that like she's never gonna leave the fandom and all that shit and whatnot and all that, and
I
like
have it tattooed
know,
all over me. I'm
oh,
never
either
gonna
way,
be able to leave.
it never occurred to me until right now that this whole time her problem, the reason why she didn't watch all of Phase 4 and all that and whatnot, why she kind of backed off the shows for a while and whatnot, was because of the fact that literally Endgame, that buildup for her, the fact that she saw the first original Avengers movie when she was 12 or whatever, like,
Yeah, I was 12.
you know,
He was a
that
youngin.
she lived that,
Yeah.
like at her age.
I'll be 23 on
That
Wednesday.
Endgame for her must have been so
Happy early
traumatic.
birthday.
I mean, I saw Endgame, right? Like, after, like, after what happened to me, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, after my TBI and everything and whatnot, as a different person than like when I started the MCU, right? A different human, like a different Jeff.
Yeah.
So like, I never occurred to me for Sally in her youth. No wonder she rebelled against Phase 4, right? Look at what she was given.
You're
The gift
making me
she was
sound
given.
like Roach from Titanic.
No,
here.
no, honestly, it's sweet. It's honestly, I can't imagine how impactful it must have been for you. Think about it, John. It must have really, really hurt. It must. No, we're old. I mean, I'm older. John's older than you. We could handle like a little bit more.
Thanks for
like,
rubbing it in, Jeff.
no, John, do you get where I'm coming from, though?
Yeah, I do.
It must have been
I am
really
but a
like
fetus.
intense to like have that change.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
I never
So-
thought about
and this is where I had no problem. A lot of people had this problem, and I didn't. When it comes to Marvel, the expectation problem is the problem that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Everyone had the expectation of how is it going to compare to Endgame, and since Endgame, I have had the standard way low for a reason, because
Just turned invisible.
that's fine. He's John Cena right now. Yeah. So as far as expectations go, I set my bar low for the sake of being able to still enjoy the content. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of people that shat on Multiverse of Madness was astounding.
Yeah.
Astounding. I loved it. I loved it.
I was one of the only people in the theater, and when Captain Carter got cut, everybody in the theater yelled, "Oh hell no!"
I mean, did they forget who the fuck she was dealing with?
I don't know. I was like on the edge of my seat.
My shock factor was the because
My
when
shock
she
factor, it was close to a horror movie levels of.
that's what it was supposed to be. And that's
Yeah,
why I enjoyed it so much. Everyone's like, "Oh, this movie sucks." Why did it suck? Because you thought you were going to get all these. You thought you were going to get this variant and that variant and this variant and that variant. Wrong, bitch. You were expecting too much, and that's your fault. The movie didn't suck. Your
Yes.
expectations sucked.
Yes.
Don't have expectations. Also,
Yeah, I have like little to no expectations for any phase after phase 4. Phase 3.
I was going to say, after phase 3, you should just have zero expectations, and you'll never be let down.
Oh yeah.
Before Jeff comes back, I'll remind him when I see him back too. But you haven't seen She-Hulk yet.
Yeah.
One of the end credits things is an animated, like it's a drawing of one of the characters in the show has like this massive shoe collection, and all the shoes are Marvel characters, and it's not just MCU characters. There are Deadpool shoes, there are Thing shoes, there are Cyclops shoes, there are Wolverine shoes.
There's a shoe collection.
It's drawn. It's not a legit
I love
collection.
shoes. I love shoes.
But there's the person that
I have
collects
too many
shoes in the
shoes.
show. And there's
I like
another
collecting
part in the show that there's like an internet, like a computer thing's being, scrolled. And if you pause on a specific scene, it's very clearly seen man with metal claws arrested or some shit fighting in a bar.
Wolverine.
Wolverine is indirectly referenced in She-Hulk.
Oh hell yeah.
So you might not like the show. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I can say with a certainty that I loved the last episode because of how over the top the fourth wall breaking was.
Fourth wall breaking.
It was so
Deadpool Jr.
It was so aggressive. It was beyond Deadpool. It was so aggressive that they actually specifically called it out as never being as possible as it was in the show going forward. In the show.
Who's your best friend? Spandex.
Yes.
That's the only scene I've seen.
Jeff, and did you watch you said you watched the whole way through She-Hulk, yeah?
We cover every Disney Plus series episodically, like
they do.
Okay.
He does. We do. I don't know.
Did you catch the Wolverine reference in She-Hulk?
I believe so.
On the internet thing?
Yes.
So that show had a lot more to do with the bigger, grander scheme of things than a lot of people give it credit for. And the shoe collection was another thing.
Well, yeah, but it also, at the same time, caused me to experience.
What the fuck?
I
thought that was another pop-up.
This was after episode 7 of She-Hulk when I experienced permanent erectile dysfunction because of episode 7, right? Okay. That's the medical that's the paperwork the doctor gave.
Oh shit, not again.
All right.
Which one was 7? Which remind me?
It doesn't matter. It was the one that gave
last
permanent
one,
erectile dysfunction. This shit happened too.
Oh, good God.
Oh my god, she's so flat.
You know what I mean? Like that fucked me up too.
That's the antithesis of America.
I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? And then and then this shit happened. And then that was it.
Is that you, Jeff?
That's the night that She-Hulk domed me, baby.
Yeah, that's Jeff. Will you
She-Hulk domed me that night, man.
It's starting to get boring.
She fucking manhandled me, dude. Look at me.
I've never seen it, so it is kind of funny.
She grabbed my ass up. Look at me. I couldn't even fucking defend myself.
You couldn't defend yourself?
I mean, I wouldn't mind being domed by She-Hulk and then Peggy Carter.
I am.
I want to be in a She-Hulk Peggy Carter sandwich just because I think She-Hulk is sexy.
I would be lying to say that wouldn't be interesting to watch. You would end up flat as all hell because of all the pressure coming in from both sides.
I would be the jelly.
You would end up being jelly for sure. You got two of the strongest people on the planet making you into a. You'd be a Sally sandwich. I mean, Jesus Christ.
What do you think She-Hulk's gonna do to you?
I don't know.
I'll tell you right now.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Why? Why you gotta do this shit, man?
Look,
Well,
I'm
you
telling
walked
right
into
now,
the sandwich conversation.
you want to end up? You want to be a meme like me?
Yes.
I think she would love to be, based on this recent chat we just had. I feel like she would rather much desire being Jelly at this point. She'd love to be a Sally sandwich between She-Hulk and Peggy Carter, but it has to be Captain Carter from the What If / Multiverse of Madness film.
Yes, Captain
And
Carter.
She has to
In
get.
terms of being excited to see this movie, do you feel like the trailers gave enough to explain what's kind of going on?
I think the star power alone is going to draw the fans in.
Oh yeah, Sally, I don't know how you didn't see Angelina Jolie. I mean, come on, man.
Which one is she again?
When Angelina Jolie is on screen, she stands out. Like,
wait, which one was she? Was she the blonde one?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Listen, if you're trying to tell people that you're bisexual, well, then you got some serious messed up radar or something.
Hey,
you
hey,
can't like.
hey.
You
To
can't.
be fair, Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans were on the screen when I figured that out.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not by myself, and I could tell like which guys were attractive during the scenes of the trailer and weren't and everything and whatnot. So
I just don't know what Angelina Jolie looks like when she's not Maleficent.
Okay, and
I need you to stop.
Okay, I'll stop now.
But see, y'all are all overlooking. Okay, Angelina Jolie, yeah, she's fine. Hello, so.
What the fuck? Why?
Oh man, that was.
Why you gotta do that? That was brutal.
Why is that brutal? I think it's cute to see you, Sally, on the old shows.
I was a ginger, and now I'm whatever the fuck this is.
You're a deeper ginger.
I gained a soul. No, this is like dark red.
That's fine.
That was a
I
really
like
good
it. I think it looks good.
I like it too. No, John, that was a great show. That we had. That was one of our best shows we ever did, man. Like I'm telling you right now. We had a ton of guests.
Good to know that you guys drink on the show because next time.
Oh yeah. Oh, we do. We drink.
Yes.
Yeah. Me and Jermaine ended up. Both of us ended up being pretty drunk. I mean, Jermaine was like trashed.
You were sloshed.
I was drunk, but he was like sloshed.
I get white girl wasted on wine, so it's okay.
He drinks wine. I think he drinks.
I'm into Fireball.
Why do you like it? But why Fireball though? Why do you drink Fireball?
She has to match the top with the bottom. She wants to make sure that she's red in the hair and red in the belly.
Stop it! No.
Red in the belly. Red in the belly. Red in the belly.
That was the first alcoholic drink I've ever had.
She was her first tragic experience. She's never had the good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've had other stuff. Other stuff is good. Peach schnapps.
Peach schnapps is the fucking shit. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about
my mom warned me that schnapps would make me forget my name, but I know my name. It's fine.
So I
know my name is MCU girl.
I'm gonna give you a quick recommendation since you're a peach schnapps gal. Do you like peach iced tea?
Yeah.
Snapple peach iced tea, peach schnapps, and some vodka.
Got it.
If you don't taste the vodka, that's because you put in enough.
Okay, let me just write this down. Hold on.
It doesn't taste different. It's so painfully good. I assure you that you're going to love what you drink when you drink that.
Okay. Peach, Snapple, and vodka?
Peach tree schnapps and vodka.
I just paid for my phone. I'm trying to figure. Oh, there's my phone.
Yeah,
Does
it matter what kind of vodka it is?
No, I would not get shitty vodka though, knowing how you probably wouldn't like shitty vodka because you seem like a classy MCU gal.
Yeah, I would stop.
Oh no, I will drink like
Poland Spring vodka.
Things.
Stop drinking. Stop drinking. You know what? You don't need to drink. What's it called? Fireball or whatever. Don't drink Fireball.
I love Fireball.
So
why can't you just drink a regular? I'm drinking a margarita. Why can't you just have drink like a regular wine cooler type drink or like?
I have had a blue raspberry wine cooler that wasn't bad.
I'll tell you what. Are you coming on for What If next weekend?
What if?
Oh yeah,
What If?
she'll be on. What If season 2 next Sunday?
Wait, is it coming out?
No,
It's not coming out soon, but it's coming out.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Probably.
Okay. I will bring a bottle of wine. You bring whatever you're gonna drink. Jeff, I'll be drinking next Sunday.
I got a bottle of wine right now. I've got one right here. You know what? Hell,
Oh man, Jeff, get wasted. Jeff's gonna get wasted.
I'm gonna end up banging out in about 10 minutes, anyways, because I do have stuff.
No, we're
Yeah,
gonna
this
get
is
this
this is usually about the time we like ask.
What you got there?
We're gonna dip out of here anyway. But
Is
no,
that Moscato?
What kind of wine is that?
Moscato. This is what
Moscato is the
Moscato.
drink. Moscato is the drink.
Oh,
I've got 2 or 3 decent bottles out in the kitchen too and whatnot. But this is what I'm
One
gonna drink.
second.
Next Sunday,
One
I'm
second.
drinking.
I'll be right back.
I'm drinking whatever the fuck I want next Sunday.
So you should try this. You should try
How
pink
expensive
Moscato.
is that shit?
It's not. This bottle right here was only like $8.
I don't have $8.
Oh, geez, I'll send you $8 so you can get a bottle of wine.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, because people don't recognize me. I get carded, and I'm like, yeah, this was me in October 2020.
I know you showed the ID picture and all that.
Yeah, I know. Oh
I
my
will
god!
cash after
wait,
the $10.
please don't. But
I don't have your
this
own
was
Cash
me
App. I don't have it
in
possible.
October 2020. Hold on.
You're not.
Yeah,
closer.
I don't look like that anymore. I have like long curly hair and eyebrows. The eyebrows is the most offensive part. Oh wow.
My driver's license picture is actually pretty good, so I'm not gonna like.
Oh my god.
I don't feel the need to pull mine out. But
I just
John,
say everybody watching everything.
let me pull up your podcast really quick.
Oh, please.
Where now? How is that now? This is actually important for me. How do you what do you call your podcast again?
It's called the Mad Trivia Podcast.
Mad
I'm following it.
Trivia.
You're on Spotify, right?
I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm on Amazon. I'm Google. I'm on Anchor. Stitcher.
Okay.
And I promise you that I will go around. I'm going to save this page and I follow you on every single platform I can
5.0
find.
stars. Wow.
I've got 600 listens across 10 episodes.
That's cool.
I've had 2 celebrity guests, one of which is the episode has already been released, one of which I still have to get out.
There you go.
It's a great time. I truly accept anybody. If anybody wants to come on, all you have to do is hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I have a Facebook, but it's not, it's Facebook. So,
yeah.
But
it's not as bad as Twitter.
I have less followers on Twitter than I should. But it's good for getting your links out there because you can't fucking share links on Instagram because Instagram's a bitch.
Oh yeah.
But
I
do advertise. I do most of my advertising on Instagram. I actually do equal parts advertising on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Fucking love TikTok. I hit my favorite number today.
69?
No, 666.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
most people go.
I also got to 669.
Yes.
Nice.
That's like 2 6s and a 9. That's like the best 3-way ever.
Oh man, you know what?
No, that would be 696.
That's a perfect. That's the perfect time to get out of here, folks.
And that's the time after everything you
for Samuel Q Girl, for John, for Cybernetic Shark, my co-host, for TrueKnowledge himself, for the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We love you, folks. God bless you. And hey, Monday's our first show on the Bleeding Edge. Our first Monday show. Can't wait. It's probably going to be me solo, or maybe Sally's ass will be out and be drunk. We'll see. Who knows?
No.
We'll have to see. Either way,
I'm
folks.
not working this week, Jeff.
All right. Peace.